Well, let's go for today's session. Again, it is something like we are revising some, enriching your background, talking about some limits now, because it's the second day for the chapter 5. You can even take that as a third day also if you include the exponential and logarithmic function also. Limit at infinity and infinite limits. The regular definition of limits may not work here, but anyway, I'm not going into the details of that. What we know is that limit n tends to infinity, r raised to n will be 0, provided r lies between -1 and 1, that is mod r less than 1. You can easily see r is equal to 1 by 2. If you go on raising the power, 1 by 2 raised to 3, 1 by 2 raised to 5, 1 by 2 raised to 100, that's going to be diminishing smaller and smaller. So limit n tends to infinity, r raised to n will be 0 if mod r is less than 1. Further again, one more result, when mod r less than 1, the sum of infinite terms of the GP, that is a plus ar squared plus dot 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 infinite terms, under the condition that mod r less than 1, sum of infinite terms of the GP. Can you tell? You studied in 11th. It is nothing but a upon 1 minus r. A upon 1 minus r. How is it? You know the sum of infinite terms in a sum of n terms in a GP. A plus ar squared, etc. n terms. What is that? A into 1 minus r raised to 1 upon 1 minus r. A into 1 minus r raised to 1 upon 1 minus r. You know this formula. Now when mod r less than 1, under the condition that mod r less than 1, r raised to n, this term will tend to 0 as n tends to infinity. This term is tending to 0, it is nothing but a into 1 upon 1 minus r, and hence you have result. If mod r less than 1, r raised to n will tend to 0 as n tend to infinity, and hence we have s equal to a upon 1 minus r. Again I remind, you have to remember this. Sum to infinite terms of a GP with the first term a, common ratio r, where mod r less than 1, s, the sum to infinite terms is a upon 1 minus r. You may need to apply in many places in your ongoing copies also. We'll take some examples if you get time. Limit x tends to infinity 1 by x. Numerator becomes larger and larger. Fraction will diminish and reduce to 0. Limit x is to infinity 1 by x is 0. Limit x is to minus infinity 1 by x is also 0. What will be limit x is to 0 plus 1 by x? X tends to 0 plus. It is infinity. You can even say it is undefined also. Infinity is not defined. Limit x is to minus 0, I mean 0 minus. 0 minus means 0 from below. 0 from below means x is here negative. We cannot say that is also undefined, but that will be treated as minus infinity. What will be then limit x is to 0, 1 by x? You understand what we mean by x is to 0 plus and x is to 0 minus? X into 0 plus means x is approaching from 0 from above. This is 0. X is approaching 0 from above. That means x is 1, 1 by 9, 0.9, 0.8, 0.5, 0.3, 0.2, 0.1, 0.01, 0.011, x is approaching 0 from above. X is always more than 0. 1 by x means to infinity. And when x approaches 0 from below means x is approaching 0 from below. So 1, 0.5, 0.4, 0.3, minus 1, minus 0.5, minus 0.3, minus 0.1, minus 0.001, minus 0.001, because x is going to be less than 0. 0 from below means approaching 0 from below. X approaches 0 plus means approaching 0 from above. X approaches 0 from below, 1 by x will be always negative. Its limit is minus infinity. And limit x into 0, 1 by x does not exist. Left limit is minus infinity, right limit is infinity. The limit simply we say does not exist. Let us evaluate some limits here. limit x tends to 0, 1 plus 3x raised to 2 by x. If I give half minute time, can you work out and tell? If you remember yesterday's, because you take the notes and be ready with that. I cannot ask you to look back if you don't have the note. In a regular class, if your notes is with you, I can ask you to refer the pages back. What is the formula with us? If you take the first one, limit x tends to 0, 1 plus 3x raised to 2 by x. What is the formula with us? We have written limit x tends to 0, 1 plus kx raised to 1 by x is e raised to k. 1 plus 3x raised to 1 by x. Can you write like that? You can rewrite like this. 1 plus 3x raised to 1 by x whole raised to 2. Raised to 2 by x I can write 1 by x raised to 1 by x. 1 plus 3x raised to 1 by x whole raised to 2. A raised to m, all raised to n is a raised to mn. So this is e raised to 3 all raised to 2. 1 plus limit x tends to 0. 1 plus kx raised to 1 by x is e raised to k. So e raised to 3 all raised to 2, that is e raised to 6. Clear the formula? Second one is a different one. Numerator 3x plus 1, denominator 3x plus 2, raised to x, x tends to infinity. What I can do here is, we have the same formula. Different formula here, limit x tends to infinity. This was x tends to 0, but you see the position of x here, x is in denominator. Limit x tends to 0, 1 plus k by x raised to x. We cannot apply the previous one here because the power is x, not 1 by x. So here we need limit x is to infinity, 1 plus k by x raised to x is e raised to k. But how do we come to that stage? What we can do is, inside the bracket, you divide, or I take 3x common out from numerator and denominator. We are dividing with 3x. We take 3x common out and cancel it. Precisely, I am dividing numerator and denominator with the 3x. Right? So you get 1 plus 1 by 3x upon 1 plus 2 by 3x. Are you getting this step? Precisely, I am dividing numerator and denominator. Numerator and denominator. Here, numerator and denominator with numerator and denominator with 1 by x, right? And with 3x. Here I divide with 3x, here I divide with 3x. Here I get 1 plus 1 by 3x, that is here. I get 1 plus 2 by 3x. Now I rewrite like this, in this format, numerator and denominator I can separate to two limits. I am not elaborating. What will be the limit in numerator? Numerator I can write limit x is to infinity, 1 plus k by x, 1 upon 3x I can write 1 by 3 upon x, all is to x upon limit x is to infinity, 1 plus 2 by 3x I can write 2 by 3 upon x, is to x. Now I apply this formula. What will be numerator? E raised to 1 by 3. And what is denominator? E raised to 2 by 3. E raised to 1 by 3 upon e raised to 2 by 3. That is e raised to 1 by 3 minus 2 by 3. That is e raised to minus 1 by 3. Or 1 upon e raised to 1 by 3. Well, third one is entirely different again. But we are coming to same kind of indeterminate. If you simply put x equal to 0, it is going to be 1 raised to infinity format. Right? Limit x tends to 0, cos x raised to cot squared x. So how will you say? For that we have the formula, limit x tends to 0, 1 minus x raised to 1 by x is e raised to minus 1, or 1 plus k x raised to 1 by x is e raised to k. How will you get that 1 minus x or 1 plus x or 1 plus kx raised to 1 by x format? Here, my dear, cos x, I can write as under root 1 minus sin squared x, and x tends to 0, sin x tends to 0. You can replace sin x as a variable. Limit x tends to 0, 1 minus sin squared x raised to 1 by 2. That is under root 1 minus sine squared raised to cot squared x. See, the basic formula of limit I am applying is the same here again. The limit I apply is same. This same limit I am going to apply. Limit x to 0, right? This one. Limit x to 0, 1 minus x. Instead of x, will have sine squared x. And that sine squared x you are going to get from cot squared x. Cos squared x by sine squared x. I can even make some arrangement for this power. So this I can rewrite as limit x to 0, 1 minus sine squared x raised to half whole raised to cos squared x by sine squared x. You know, limit x to 0, cos x is 1 and limit x is 0, sine x is 0. I would like to rewrite this as limit x to 0, 1 minus sine squared x raised to 1 by sine squared x. 1 by sine squared x is taken from that term. 1 by sine squared x from here, and further left out cos squared x and raised to 1 by 2, that is cos squared x by 2. No need of substituting sine squared x as another variable. You can say when x tends to 0, sine x also tends to 0. We know sine squared x also tends to 0. So this limit, when variable tends to 0 will be e raised to minus 1, and this limit when x tends to 0 is 1 by 2, cos x tends to 1. So finally we have this is e raised to minus 1 whole raised to 1 by 2. E raised to minus 1 whole raised to 1 by 2. Or you can say e raised to minus 1 by 2 or 1 by root t. Well, evaluate sum of infinite terms of TP. 1 plus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 4 plus dot 1 by infinite terms. 1 minus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 4 minus 1 by infinite terms. Well, in the first case, it's a geometric progression. First term a is 1, common ratio is 1 by 2, and mod r is less than 1. So sum to infinite terms is a by 1 minus r. A is 1, r is 1 by 2, 1 by 1 minus 1 by 2, that is 1 by half, that is 2. The sum to infinite terms 1 plus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 4 plus 1 by 8 etc. is 2. Lastly asked what is 1 plus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 4 etc. That was infinity. Take care. Now the second one is a is 1, r is minus 1 by 2. A into r. Further multiply with minus 1 by 2, you get plus 1 by 4. So first term is 1, common ratio is minus 1 by 2, and mod r is less than 1. So what is the sum here? A by 1 minus r. A is 1. 1 by 1 minus r, or 1 by 1 plus r, or 1 upon 3 by 2, which is nothing but 2 by 3. That is clear. Sum to infinite terms, you may need to apply in many places. Find the limit n tends to infinity. 3n squared plus 2n plus 1 upon 2n squared plus 5n plus 6. You may need in some place here later also. Limit n tends to infinity. See, if we simply put n equal to infinity, it is infinity by infinity. It is indeterminate. Limit x tends to 0, log 1 plus 6x upon x. Only to remind your earlier formula which we specified. Limit n tends to infinity, 1 by n squared plus 2 by n squared plus 3 by n squared plus dot n by n squared. Here what happens when n tends to infinity? 1 by infinity is 0. Each term is tending to 0. But how many terms are there? When n tends to infinity, the number of terms going to be infinity. It's again indeterminate, 0 into infinity, indeterminate. But let us see how to evaluate this. Limit n tends to infinity, 3n squared plus 3n minus 1 by 2n squared plus 5n plus 6. What I do is that, we have done one among that earlier, the same way. Divide numerator and denominator with n squared, the highest power of n. Dividing numerator and denominator with n squared. What do you get here? Dividing with n squared numerator and denominator, we get limit n tends to infinity, 3 plus 3 by n minus 1 by n squared. And denominator, 2 plus 5 by n plus 6 by n squared, and n squared taken out. N squared into 3 plus 3 by n minus 1 by n squared upon n squared cancels, and apply the limit. We know the limit n tends to infinity 1 by x, or limit x tends to infinity 1 by x is 0. So what is the answer? The numerator, it will be 3 plus 0 minus 0, denominator 2 plus 0 plus 0, and you have 3 by 2. Clear what we do? Take the highest power of n squared, highest power of n common, or precisely we divide numerator and denominator. Second one, can you answer directly? Oh, I cannot. This is second. Okay. Limit n tends to infinity 1 by n squared plus 2 by n squared plus 3 by n squared plus dot dot n by n squared. What we know is that limit n tends to infinity 1 by n is 0. We go on writing this, applying the limit separately. It is 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus dot 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 infinity limit terms. That's going to be indeterminate. In fact, sum of infinite terms, we cannot apply the limits separately. That is not valid. So how to get along with this? For this purpose, we can take the LCM before applying the limit. LCM becomes n squared. It is common to all, and the numerator is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus dot 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 n. Now, who will tell me what is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus up to n? Can you recollect? What is the formula for 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus dot dot up to n?
Sir, n into n plus 1 by 2.
Very good. It is n into n plus 1 by 2. I'm going to apply that. N into n plus 1 by 2. Now this, on simplifying, this becomes n into n plus 1 by 2 n squared. Numerator, I take from n plus 1, I take another n out. From here, I take another n out. So that is n squared into 1 plus 1 by n upon 2n squared. Now n squared cancels. N squared into, see, there is one n already there. Further, I take n from here, that is n squared into 1 plus 1 by n upon 2n squared. N squared goes, and this half, this constant comes out, and the limit 1 plus 1 by n, as n tends to infinity, 1 by n tends to 0. Correct? So this is half will come out, simply 1 plus 0 by 2, that is 1 by 2. Moving along, we take an LCM, apply the formula 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus up to n, that is n into n plus 1 by 2, simplified and applied and taken up the highest power of n common and applied the limit n tends to infinity, 1 by n is 0. Well, the last one, you can tell me the answer directly. If you remember yesterday's topic, or if you have taken up the notes, I will not take granted you don't know anything. Whatever I taught, I take granted it is there with you. You can refer back. Limit x tends to 0, log 1 plus kx by x, or basically limit x tends to 0, log 1 plus x upon x is 1. 6 is there. You can multiply and divide with 6. So this 6 will come out. So 6 into limit 6x tends to 0, that is obvious. When x tends to 0, 6x tends to 0, log 1 plus 6 upon 6x, that is 6 into 1. Is it not? 6x, this you can avoid also. It is only for clarity I have written. 6 into 1, that is equal to 6. Apply the limit x into 0, log 1 plus 6 upon x equal to 1. Well, we have discussed a lot of questions. If you are industrious, please do this. I am not uploading this question on your ERP because this is not directly pertaining to your board, but we may need it on the way in some places. I don't want to add up this to your burden, but you take a copy of this please do it. Please do it. We'll apply these in between somewhere also. So, any question, any doubts you can ask me. Someone who asked me last day some doubt, by the time I just logged out. Any question you can ask me now.